Hi everyone, welcome to our second episode of our series Tips and Tricks. This one is about shaping production-ready packaging with the best-in-class CAD solution. Today, once again, I have with me Bart and Susie, experts on the topic that will be speaking about this specific topic. I just want to mention that at the end, we'll have Q&A, so please feel free to drop your questions in the question box right there on the on the screen, and we'll kick it off now. Susie?
All right. Hey, everybody. I am here with my colleague, Bart. Bart, you and I have been doing this for a long time, and we're really happy to talk about some of these tips and tricks. This one particularly focused around CAD solution, ArtiosCAD in particular. As it says there, I love packaging. I'm completely passionate about it. My family doesn't really want to shop with me anymore because I'm too distracted. But Bart, you as well, been doing this a long time.
Yeah, I love showing these solutions and the value that it offers to our customers. So it's always fun to see a nice fit.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, like we said, we are going to kick this one off is a little bit focusing on ArtiosCAD and what this is. This is the market leader in packaging design, structural design for packaging, really dedicated tools for this. So not only structural design, virtual prototyping, layout, die making as well. And the whole point of ArtiosCAD being optimized for packaging is to reduce errors by anticipating or eliminating mistakes, because we know about all the things that go into making a great packaging structural design. A couple of things, like I said, optimized for packaging for sure. And you may or may not be aware, but the product ships with a large number of standards or resizable designs, hundreds of them from, FEFCO and ECMA, for example, or you can create your own. And it's pretty easy to do that with these really intelligent drafting tools. There's also a really nice pre-flight tool that allows you to check a design against certain parameters. Just like you pre-flight your artwork, you can pre-flight your CAD designs and find things, and a lot of times pre-flight can even fix them for you, so that's even better. And we can communicate seamlessly. We can use intelligent die lines and send those over to the artwork operator, so all the sort of keep away areas, don't print here, where's the glue flap, but also inside of ArtiosCAD, generating automated reports and bills of materials, assembly diagrams, all those things that are kind of just extra work or grunt work, the solution can actually do for you. And again, it's about speed and accuracy. One of my favorite things about ArtiosCAD is to really be able to work or start in 3D and have the software figure out what the 2D is. So being able to reverse engineer the packaging that fits and protects the product perfectly is fantastic. And then also, ArtiosCAD comes in a version called ArtiosCAD Enterprise. It's basically a centralized, secure database that makes your CAD department available to everyone in the company or people outside the company, sort of based on Web Center, but we are able to log in, see the status of projects, manage tasks, and all of that. So bringing ArtiosCAD to a true enterprise level solution. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to Bart. And Bart, you're going to show, I think you said 3 tips. These are short and sweet for everybody so they can do a coffee break and
that's right.
Tips. So off to you.
Yeah, so thank you, Susie. In the next 20 minutes, we'll show 3 tips and tricks. So we'll start with the pre-flight that Susie mentioned. Then we'll talk about how to import 3D models and create protective packaging around that. And then last but not least, super excited to show this feature. It's a brand new feature that we introduced in 2403, our latest and greatest version, and it's called Shelf Builder. So stick around until the end, and let's get started. So we all know how easy it is to create packaging using that catalog that Susie was mentioning. It literally contains hundreds of parametric designs. Once you pick one of those designs and you associate a material with it, now we can simply specify the dimensions of our packaging. And here we can see that the software tells me, hey, watch out, you're actually running this in millimeters. So let's go ahead and cancel this. And let's go to our options units and make sure that we're working in inches, right? Because 5 millimeters, let's be honest, that would be a super small package, right? So it wouldn't even be able to contain a product, I would assume, right? So here we go again. So we have our product, let's say 5" by 3" by 7". Hit that OK button, and seconds later, we have our 2D, and we can convert this to a 3D. So all in all, within 30 seconds, I am able to generate this design. So how powerful is that? Notice that Artios makes my life even easier by putting all those dimensions on there. But I want to create a POP display. And for that, believe it or not, I'm going to make my life even easier if that is possible. And it is, because we have this feature called Download from Display Store. So as soon as you open that, a web browser opens with a POP display store model, different categories, not only point of purchase, but countertop displays. These, unlike the standard catalog, you have to purchase. But again, when you look at the price, they're not going to break the bank, right? So I found this really nice display. I downloaded it, and I'm going to open it up now in ArtiosCAD. And here it is. As you can see, it's a point of purchase display. It's multi-component. So again, we're going to go through that exercise of converting that from a 2-dimensional layout to a 3-dimensional object. And again, look how quick we can do that, right? We have 2 tabs open. And this is the point in time where I want to start looking at the consistency of my design, right? In other words, I want to go ahead and pre-flight this. Now, you're probably wondering, well, why would you want to pre-flight this? Well, pre-flight will really help you to find problems early on in this design life cycle where you can find anomalies that might occur during finishing, right? Maybe during gluing or during cutting or waste, right? And in order to do that, we are using what we call profiles. Now you can see that pre-flight, by the way, you can download today as a 30-day free trial. So go ahead after this Livestorm event and find this on our website. And you'll find that the software comes with a limited set of profiles. Now you can create your own profiles. And once you run the set of rules, the software will analyze your design, and it will tell you if it found certain anomalies that violate those rules against which I am checking this. You notice that there are quite some problems. When I click on each one of them, the software highlights where those problems are located. So if I right-click here, for example, and I say, hey, go ahead and zoom in, I can see that indeed there's a line that was created here which exceeds my design. So that definitely is a problem, right? So you also notice a little wrench before this error message. Now, sometimes the software will be able to fix these things for you. So here in the online help, you'll be able to see what the meaning is of these colored wrenches. A blue wrench means, hey, ArtiosCAD is going to tell you, I'm going to fix this without changing the intent of the design. An orange wrench, a colored wrench, and so on and so on. So fixing might happen, but it might affect the intent of the design. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right-click here and I'm going to say, hey, by all means, go ahead and fix this for me. Continuing on with that exercise, I'm going to also fix all these other problems that were listed. One other thing I'm going to do once the software has done fixing this, and as you can see here, it automatically removed that line. Certain things, like for example, hole sizes which are too small, where does the system know why it's too small? Well, remember I talked about profiles. So you can click on that profile, and you can see here I'm using this corrugated metric. You can open up all the settings for that profiles. And here we can see the rules relating to minimum hole size, right? So I define that as a caliper that is equal to or smaller than 3 millimeters right here. In the case of pin, here's the pin diameter. And so we're not going to spend too much time, but you can see that all these settings cover the majority of things that you want to verify your design against, right? Things like folding, are my panels wide enough, creasing, gluing, right? Seepage, bonding, and so on, stability. So these are some really great tools that can really help you to save money. Now you can also say, hey, I'm going to go ahead and accept because I know that 3 millimeters is good enough. Every time I accept something, I can specify a message down here, which will be saved together with the pre-flight. So the next operator knows that I've accepted this. And in this case right here, I'm going to fix all these if possible. Also, the finishing machines can be specified, and those finishing machines here, a slaughter scorer machine, a Bobst, I have in my plant. I can verify if this design is going to be printable against that. So what I can also do is I can look at the continuous boundary of my design. That's the green option you see here. So once I'm happy and everything is done properly, I'm now going to save this and hand this off to my graphic designer. Even better, I can publish it to our cloud-based approval system called Web Center. So once it sits in the cloud, again, my graphic designer will now be notified that that file sits there. And he or she can now start to go and switch over to Adobe Illustrator and place that multi-component ARD file right here in an Adobe Illustrator document. You might remember from our first session, for that you will need the free data exchange plugin. But if you do that, you can then go to a visualizer mode where you're going to be able to see this POP display. And we can also even add these individual headphones. So there seems to be different flavors right there, 4 different colors. We have a blue, a pink, a silver, and a yellow. So using our Studio Toolkit, which you might remember from our first demonstration, I can combine these individual elements. And as you can see, I have full control in a 3D space where I can position those very accurately. We also have some really great shortcuts right here where you can have a really close-up view of how this POP display combines. And so once I create these scenes, that's what we call it, you can then go back to Adobe Illustrator and place that scene just like a director would create a scene in a movie. We are generating that scene here. And then ultimately, I'm going to generate a ray trace image. Now, I've done that yesterday in preparation for this demo, and you're not going to believe it, but this really, really incredible looking image that you see here on the screen here. Let me move it to my other desktop. This image preview has taken the Esco Cloud Render engine only 12 minutes. So that's pretty impressive for this amazing image. I can zoom in a little bit for the audience, and you can see how the shadows softly cast. You can even see the plastic, the rough plastic protecting the headphones. So 12 minutes to generate this POP. And that happens, by the way, in our cloud. And at any point in time, you can go into that cloud and you can see here the queue where you put these renders in, and you can see here that it indeed only took 12 minutes. So pretty cool. Let's switch gears now after this pre-flight, and let's start talking about 3D designs. So 3D objects, having the ability to import those is a feature that is only available in the Prime version, right? So you might notice that ArtiosCAD comes in 3 flavors. We have Essentials, Advanced, and Prime. For this exercise, we're going to import a file that was produced in a third-party software. Now, there are many softwares out there in the market. And as you can see, it's quite the alphabet zoo, right? Anything from ABC to XYZ. We have all the usual suspects, CFF2, DXF. We have Step, IGES, Katja, Pro-E, and SolidWorks, very popular in our industry. STL format, OBG, here's another popular one. And then we have the ESCO formats. So Prime gives you a really wide spectrum of models, file formats that allow you to import mechanical objects, right, from your R&D or your product design. So here you can see I have a figurine. He looks very familiar, looks a little bit like RoboCop. He's got the ESCO logo on his chest though, so that looks pretty cool. So what we're going to do here is we're going to quickly generate some protective packaging around this model. So I'm going to go into an orthogonal view and rotate this facing on. And the very first thing I'm going to do is define the bounding box around this object. So we are not going to cram this action figure into this design. I want to really make sure that, let's go ahead and switch back over to inches here. My default is set to millimeters, but as you can see, you can very quickly switch over. So let's give this a little bit more breathing room in that packaging. Same thing I want to do for the width of the package. So let's go ahead and go with 2.5. So here I am manually doing this, but in the lower left-hand corner, you can see that you can also do this obviously numerically. And then here, the height, we're going to increase to 10.5 inches. So we have 5.5, 2.5 by 10.5. So after I've done this first exercise, the next thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to indicate which my packaging needs to be, right? So I'm going to run a standard. And in order to do that, the software needs to know what is the length and what is the width of this. After which I can now pick my type of packaging I want to create around this. And we're going to pick from this standard catalog the friction tuck right here on second. So that looks like a neat package for that. Again, we need to indicate the material. And seconds later, we now have our protective packaging. How easy was that? I can even put on my X-ray goggles and see what that product looks like. I have a transparent view here, which I can hide. And of course, we have full control in 3D space. Now, I want my consumer to actually see this figurine in the box. So we need to create a see-through window here on the front, okay? Now, as a designer, it's sometimes difficult to figure out, hey, is this the front or is this the primary side? So at any point in time, Artios allows you to add additional elements to this design, such as varnish-free areas, bleed areas. So we know we want to keep these areas varnish-free, especially here, this glue flap, right? The top right here and these two flaps, we want to keep varnish-free. And I also want to specify the actual artwork panel direction. So now we know for sure that this is going to be my front panel. And we decided to create a little see-through window. Now I know that this flap here on the top is 7/8 right there, so I can hide certain information, and I can see here that that's 7/8. So I might want to quickly build a guide here and bring that down to 7/8. I can type that myself here and hit enter. So now I have a guide that will let me know how far I need to stay away from this center right here. So as I create this, I know that I cannot go any further than this. And let's accept that like so. Again, I could do this numerically, but to speed up the demo a little bit, notice also that I assigned a cut line. So if you switch back right here, we'll now be able to update this 2D back into a 3D right here. And the software will now automatically update this design that I made like so. Now fast forward a little bit. Here are some examples of what that output would look like. Here we have the final pack shots that were generated. As you can see, GS1 compliant with 6 different pack shots each side and ray trace. So super easy. And also let's not forget that Artios allows you to do other things like, for example, place foam, for example, foam inserts into this design. So that way, whenever you want to add additional elements to this design, you can go ahead and do that. That could happen either with foam material or a corrugated, for example, a cut through. Okay. So last but not least, the feature that we have included recently here in our last release, 2403, is called Shelf Builder. In the meantime, the foam insert here is opening up. Let's go ahead and see if we can quickly visualize that. There it is. So you can see that, let's hide this. You can see that the feet of the figurine are automatically cut through. And of course, I can round this off a little better to make this nice and seamless. Okay. You can see also I have 2 versions open. So let's go ahead and close this. We're not going to save this. And here's my 2D. And last but not least, let's go ahead and open up our 3D right here for our shelf. I've already went ahead and prepared this so you can already see what the purpose is of this shelf builder. It really will help you to save hours and hours of time when you have 3D objects and you want to build a POP display. So let's see, how does that work? Let's go ahead and select this one right here. Let's go ahead and delete that. And let's start with selecting here our new feature, our shelf builder feature. The software will ask me, go ahead and put a product on the shelf. So here I want to put 3 of these on the shelf. And as you can see, they only go 2 deep. That's great. Then I want 3 of these cans. So easily pick that out here and then position this, and we position it like this. So very quickly, I can create one specific shelf. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to this feature and tell the software that I want to add a shelf. Right? Obviously, you can specify all the characteristics of that shelf. So after clicking on Add Shelf, I can now simply repeat this exercise. So I can create a second shelf right there. So 3 objects of those. Then we have this bottle right here, and we want 4 of these. There you go. And last but not least, this is our shampoo, and we want this like so. So once this is done, I'm going to now select these objects that I imported originally. These were OBJ objects that I imported. And you can see now that I can finalize my exercise by going one last time to this option. And now I'm going to run a standard. Now keep in mind, this standard needs to be a resizable design template. It needs to be a fillable display. Now you'll see that the new update 2403 comes with these. Let's pick here, for example, the center glue display. And you'll see now that miraculously almost the software goes at work, takes all these shelves, these two shelves, all these products, takes the design, resizes it, and creates my final POP display. All this literally in minutes. We went to consumers, to customers, and we heard that some of this can really take up to hours for structural designers to create this. Now, I gladly wait 1 or 2 minutes for this to generate for me. And once this is generated, you'll also notice that the software allows you to create a bill of materials based on all those elements. So pretty powerful. We also added some new tools in the canvas part of the software. So all in all, really great feature, really great topic that we like to share with the audience. So today we've seen 3 topics. We've seen the pre-flight that will really help you to identify possible errors during the creation of your final corrugate. Then in the second quick demo, we've seen Esco-Man, how we can import this 3D model and then quickly generate protective packaging around it. And then in this last demo here, we've noticed right here that we can automatically generate multi-component shelves starting from different 3D models, and the software will automatically combine all this in a final layout for me. There it is. So again, gladly wait a few minutes to see how all this comes together, even including, as you can see here, a detailed description of all the parts that make up this POP display. So an entire bill of materials. Okay, wow. Let's go ahead and open it up, Susie. I believe you have.
Wow, Bart, that was that new feature is really something else. People really, really like that quite a bit. So thanks for tipping us off there.
You got it.
We will open it up for questions. We're kind of really fast running out of time here, but if you do have some questions, please feel free to ask them. We will have one more event in this series coming up on April 23rd. We'll be talking about palletization and how we can really boost sustainability objectives by using palletization and keeping trucks off the road, saving material, all of the above. Again, please indicate whether or not you'd like to have a demonstration of ArtiosCAD. We can set one up for you. And then the one other thing I wanted to say was we have another event coming up, which is ESCO World. This is coming up at the end of June. Registration is open. Bart and I will both be there. Happy to show you anything you want to see, but it's a great time. It's a fantastic event. So please feel free to come to ESCO World. Register for ESCO World.
You got it.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone. Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great day.
Cool.
All right.
Enjoy the rest of your day, everyone. Take care.
Appreciate it. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
See you on the 23rd. Bye-bye.
Mm-hmm. Bye.